Okay, so basically, so today, guys, it's not typically, I don't share this typically on my gaming channel. I don't typically share this over on Twitch. I don't typically do this, but I'm doing this today because I need to shine some light on some matters in this day and age. A lot of you guys probably don't know this, but today on the wonderful, lovely Gamingmadirocks, I have a second channel, by the way, as well, Maddie Mad Sneakers. Basically, that's kind of a lot of those things you guys know about me. Getting to know me a little bit. Okay, that's my second love. But unfortunately, that channel is going to be put on hiatus for a little bit if you guys are following over there too. It's going to be put on hiatus for the time being. But, because I'm getting into building a PC. Okay? I'm going to build a PC today. Build a PC in kind of working on building towards my PC. Right now, I want you guys' opinion on this. I will put a link down to the PC part picker down there in the description. In the pinned comments, I guess, so that you guys can get access to the content from me, so you guys can know whether or not that this PC is actually doing good. And I'm sticking to $1,000 on this PC. I'm not gonna go higher. I'm not gonna go over unless prices decide to change between the next 3 months. Because the first thing I'm gonna be doing is probably getting the graphics card, but I'm not gonna do it just yet. I got about a week or so before I do decide to build it. Basically, right now, I'm looking for 1080. I'm looking for 60 FPS. I'm trying to get into 1080p, 120 FPS as best I can. So I'm trying to stick to $1,000. 80 cents over on this at the time of, I looked at it. I haven't updated or looked at it since then. So, but the second thing that I need to get my thing off the chest is a lot of you guys probably know that you guys hear me talking as a male's voice. Yes, you're right. What most people will understand is the LGBTQ community. A lot of you guys know that I actually, when you guys check out my stream channel, go follow over my twitch.tv / Gamingmadirocks or / whatever, Gamingmadirocks over there. I do, the part of the thing is that I basically advocate a lot for the LGBTQ community. But there's a few times where in the community I'm like, what? What? And I'm like, yeah, no, I don't know how legit some of this is, because, seeing people going out and, in pride parades, I'm just saying that in general, if this has ever happened or been seen, in pride parades shouldn't be, you're in a pride parade, you shouldn't be, going out and, showing, having sexual actions and sexual things within those things. I might get demonetized or shadow banned for it. But people shouldn't be doing that out in the public in the first place. So, and most of the time, I'm going to tell you, a lot of people don't realize this, but under the assumption that you think that kids are being brutally mutilated and things, not unless you're, a lot of things come down to the point that, when you look at transgender kids or transgender people, a lot of it is social transition, no medical transition, which social transition is a little bit different. A social transition is not irreversible. A social transition is reversible. Okay, that's why a lot of times when you look at people like that. Now, a lot of you guys know, I'm a trans, and here's how I started out, and I have to come out and tell you this because a lot of you guys, the first time actually coming out is a story of its own. Now, going back, and I actually have to tell you guys this because this is actually something that I don't condone and I would never do it myself. Going back, dating all the way back to basically when I was 8 or 9 years old, even probably a little bit later than that. It was probably about 5th grade, maybe. Not really. Basically, when I started, I was kind of really liking a lot of the pink. I was really liking a lot of the color, that color. I was really liking um, a lot of the pink. I was really liking a lot of girly things. A lot of times, I liked them a lot, and a lot of times, it got me into trouble. In 6th grade, it got me into trouble. I never really. Um, it got me into trouble because that's what started getting me into trouble was in 6th grade when I would end up taking clothes from other people because I really liked it, and a lot of times it ends up you end up doing things. It's kind of one of those things where don't go out and steal other people's things because lusting after other people's things is a not a good thing. Okay, as of right now, but at the time that I can understand a little bit when somebody says well, I don't have any money, I never get anything, my parents don't support me or anything. No, it's a lot of times going back and realizing this now. The PS2, okay, mind you, okay, I had a GameCube when it came out. I actually genuinely had a GameCube before I had a PS2. A lot of you guys are going to say, well, I like the GameCube over the N64. Well, to be frank, I not really gotten to play a lot of N64 stuff, and I would probably say probably the GameCube, but a lot of that is beside the point. I'm not going to go in and say, I can't say, oh, the N64, the GameCube. I said, look, guys, love what you love, and don't hate on other people because they hate something that you don't. Look, going back and realizing that when you go out and you look at other people, are you getting fed? Do you have a house? Do you have these? You have at least, to be frank, okay? Do you have a way to access? First off, do you have the way to access the? I'll put it this way. Basically, do you have access to food? Okay. Do you have access to clothing? Not expensive clothing, like Walmart cheap clothing. Do you have access to when you say that you have access to when you have a home, okay? Look at those people out there and don't bash them because they have cheaply made clothes or cheaply made stuff. Remember, a lot of times you gotta live within those means to spend your money. Don't go out and spend money willy-nilly. Okay? Don't be like me where I will admit I do it. The thing is, a lot of times as you can see over here, I went and had bought some magic. Not all that magic is truly owned by me. Some of that magic, it's all owned by me, of course. But some of that magic I will end up having to pay back in student loans because I bought it while I was in school and I wanted to play something to play with other people. Okay? Now, a lot of you guys are going to be like, but, sometimes we do. We end up indulging on something that we like. Look, if I hadn't have been spending on shoes and saving my money, I probably could have had a gaming PC by now. I could have probably had a laptop and a gaming PC by now, and I just, and that's why I put myself on hiatus with spending on buying shoes. It's going to be the point that I'm putting myself I'm putting myself on punishment. I'm not going to be spending on clothes. It's going to be hard. And it's one of those things that we have to really focus on spending our money wisely. It's kind of one of those biggest things that, that's okay. I want to find a tangent, basically, by the way. And now getting back to basically being as a child, it was kind of about that time where, going through in 7th grade, it's one of those things that, when you steal a lot of things, I did a whole lot of stealing in my time. It's, I can't restore them back because unfortunately, some of those were thrown away, and some of those were, some of those were thrown away. Some of those things were, some of those things were taken to a Salvation Army or a thrift store, and I can't replace that, of course. But I know that I did wrong, and I still have done it to this day. Stealing is not a good option. Don't steal, guys. It's going to make you a little bit into trouble, more than you will ever imagine. You steal once, you probably stole something as a kid. Well, that's different. Kids are going to be kids. Kids aren't going to know any different. You teach them. You help them learn and grow from that instance. And so, but that was basically me. Most of the time, I would end up going after things that were mostly women's clothes. But a lot of things, a lot of times, I would sit and stare at men more than I'd stare at women. Didn't know this at the time. And I just thought it was just me. It was a fad kind of thing. Not necessarily true. Because I was coming down, now I'm 18 years old. Okay, fast forward, it's going on for a long time. 18 years old, it comes to the point that that when you get to the age of at this age, when I got to this age, basically I'm kind of remembering because reminiscing is kind of hard. Basically, when I turned 18, I basically, I was still kind of didn't know, still kind of thought, and I was about this time, I was basically going in 2013. I think, hold on. So in 2013, yes, I had to make sure because I was like, in 2013, I'm not cutting this out, guys. I'm doing this off the cuff because I'm just lazy and is lazy today. But basically, a lot of times when I went 18, I was basically, it was kind of like fresh off the cuff. I thought it was just me being me, and me just being, oh, I'm not really. I thought it was just me being, I'm not doing great. I'm just like, eh. I thought it was because of my autism. Now, mind you, I thought it was because I was autistic, and I was like, and it's just like me. I just gotta learn to get over it. And I still tried in 2018. I still tried, and I still tried, and I tried, and I tried. Well, come 2018, 2013. Sorry. Being 18, I went to school. I was kind of on my own. Some of the shirts like this, I bought a lot of shirts from when I was going to school, or buying a lot of, and I don't, and mind you, I don't live here anymore, so you guys can't really find me anyways. because of things. But you know, a lot of times when you go and you realize that, when you spend your time and you spend your money. Okay, I kind of found that I really like shorts. Well, come to find out, I started liking shorts. I started wearing them a lot. Uh, and that's where I kind of started getting into wearing those. And that was kind of where I started a couple, and then I started wanting a little bit more, and I started getting into wearing shorts. Okay, come fast forward, I was realizing I really wanted women's clothes. I ended up going after bikinis. I ended up going after things that I said, I gotta learn a little bit. And I didn't realize, I wasn't pushing myself. I wasn't trying um, to push myself into buying things. Because if I continue to push and buy, I kind of did when I had a little bit of time. During that time, while I was going to school, I didn't realize this. Okay, I just thought I was kind of, and then I kind of had this thing where I believe it was 2017. Then I had this inclination that I was like, because I didn't know what transgender meant really. I didn't really know about it. I just kind of heard it in passing, didn't really notice it, and then I was like, I just had this inkling that, in 2017, it was kind of the thing that I said, you know what? I said, I came out and I realized that I was indeed a woman, not a man. And that's kind of where I started realizing, kind of realizing that myself is like, because that's when I kind of really knew about transgenders, was about in 2017, a little bit later, I kind of knew about it a little bit more. And that's where I kind of studied it up and realized, okay, this is me. This isn't me just trying to push it off. I've been trying, guys, look, I've been trying to push it off and push it off and push it off as best I can. Not really working the best that I can. Not really working the greatest. It's kind of hard, and so I kind of been doing that, and it's kind of where I kind of ended up falling into place. And it's why I haven't really, and a lot of people are gonna say this. A lot of people are gonna say, "Oh, you're so woke, or you're so this." I said, when you gotta realize this, I said some people just end up kind of, you can tell at a young age they might not seem gay. They might not seem gay at all, but you realize, are you gay? And it's like, this guy says, no, I'm not gay, but you sure act like you're gay. Sometimes people are going to act a certain way. It may come naturally to them. It's going to come naturally. It's not, everybody's going to be different. Every human being is absolutely different. Okay? You can go in and tell me, I said, how many of you are sitting out there thinking that a straight person now, okay, a straight person who goes out and watches, okay, pornography, do they happen to want to do pornography? Well, there could be a correlation to that a little bit. There could be some that are out there, but there's a lot of people out there that say, I go out and watch, or I go out and read so many different books. And I said, I go out and read many different books. Well, some of those books are there. We see it on TV. How many straight people are out there trying to push the agenda that these people aren't there? How many times has a straight person, gone to the bathroom and questioned if you're somebody going to the bathroom? If they look passing, a lot of straight people have said, if you look passing, then yeah. But how many of you are out there looking at a trans person? Looking at somebody that's trans, looking at somebody that's out there. I said, there's a lot of people that come out and I haven't even had any questions. People look at me and say that I'm trans. Only a few people, only those people who look at me, I'm like, only those people that actually know that I am. If they know that I'm trans, then yeah, then I'm going to, but I don't try to pronounce that I am. A lot of times. Right now, back in the back, I will probably, eventually, I would like to move, I'll probably eventually move this bookcase, the bookcase, and then move my shoes over here and put a rainbow flag up there. Now, guys, look, if I hadn't have changed my gender, I would have been I would have been supportive of the LGBTQ community. I'm supportive of everybody. I'm going to sit here and support every single human being on this planet. And to the extent that as long as you're not harming somebody else, you're fine to me. And a trans person isn't harming you. The only time that this might be the exception to the rule, okay, there's a lot of people out there, okay, that are going to use oh, I probably need to grab a little bit of water, but after this, there's probably a lot of people out there that are transgender that are out there and don't realize that they are. Okay? Or there's a lot of people out there that are transgender, that transgender does mean a lot of differences. There's medical transition, which, and then there is social transition. A transgender, okay, science basically simply states, and I'm going to quote this off from Powered by Rainbows, okay? I only just recently found out about this channel. So the last thing I'm going to say about this is go look him up for most of this information, just to make sure. But when people look at it, a transgender does not mean that this person, if they're non-binary, they should still be played on a certain sport. That's a whole different debate. Okay? Basically, the science behind the transgender is that they do not get the physical transitions or the medical transitions until they're 18 fully. 16 fully. Okay? In some areas, it might be a little bit younger, but I'm pretty sure 90% of the time they don't. They make sure that it's 16 or make sure that it's 18 in most cases. They do it because a lot of times they waiting for you to fully develop in some places, in some areas, for physicalness. Okay, when a child is the only thing that is prescribed to children for transitions are puberty blockers. Those things are there at a younger age when somebody, I don't want to be so big, I don't want to be so tall. They can easily take this and it wouldn't be considered for trans. Okay. Puberty blockers are a great way to get to doing these things. The second thing is that the hormone therapy. Okay, hormone therapy doesn't start until it doesn't start until much later. Okay, for medical reasons. A lot of times they don't do it until later because of a lot of things. The estrogen, the E or the T, like most people, they don't do it until later. And the reason why they don't do it until later is because a lot of times, it's basically just to make it so that we don't do it until then, and a lot of it is because it's for full development. It's more basically to make sure that the child is got at least enough to be fully developed, enough to be at that age, because there's a lot of risks involved, and they don't, like when I say if you're going and getting a COVID-19 shot, okay, or getting any kind of medication or any kind of shots, there's always a risk involved in everything, okay? But there's a lot of risks involved when taking on a lot of these extra pills, or power injections, however you like. There's ways that you can get it done. But a lot of times when you take a lot of these things, a lot of people don't understand that we don't do it until they're 16. They don't get started taking hormone therapy. It's much later than puberty blockers. And then physical mutilation, medical mutilation of, or like most people you probably call it, mutilation. A lot of times, the plasty, or basically turning the penis inside out, okay, or basically changing, you can change, the women can get a opposite side of that and get their other parts of the body used to make a penis. It doesn't mean that a woman or a man, they can get it done. Okay? A lot of times, they can get done in both ways. I don't know the exact term for both of them. I know one of them is plasticity. You guys can check out the full terms. But they don't get it done until they're at least 18. They don't get the, they don't alter their body. They don't alter their stuff. They don't get the full boobs until they're, 18 or older. Until they're 16, 18, older. 16 if your parents allow it. 18 without your parents' consent. A lot of this, look, you have to be old enough to get it done. I don't push for this. I don't push people into transgenders. I don't teach people a lot about it, but it seems like a lot of people need to learn about it. And there's a lot of things in this day and age that there's good things and bad things. Okay, now a lot of you guys are probably like wondering, what's my physically religion? Okay, there's a lot of people that are going to say that being a part of a religion, some religions say that it's not a good thing, and some religions say it's okay. Okay, and then there are some religions that have parts that some parts of the world don't believe in this, and then some parts of the world they do. And a lot of what comes down to it is that not everybody's going to agree with you. Not everybody's going to say that this is right. This is, not everybody's going to see that way. But if you go and just, acknowledge them, you don't have to like transgenders. You don't have to like them. Just acknowledge them and just like, if you don't always ask, like, you don't always have to ask for their gender. If somebody corrects you, that's fine. Okay? To me, that's okay. But it's okay. You don't have to ask them. That you can always, okay, they can always, somebody can say, hey, well, oh, sorry. Ugh. A lot of times, I'm not gonna get off here, guys, but I know it's been this, like, half-hour thing that I've been talking about and ranting and raving, and to be honest with you, I didn't come out until I was in 2017, and that's when I really kind of fully took on, and you guys know this, you guys can go back and look at my other video. I did an older video on why I changed my channel name the way I did. The biggest reason why I changed the channel name is because, and this is going to tie into the religious thing too, is because back then, I basically had, I followed one of my favorite YouTubers of all time. And I was just like, I don't know how I came upon him. I just know that YouTube kind of maybe recommended it to me, or I was just searching for stuff, and getting into collecting maybe, and Metal Jesus Rocks, to basically, to give you guys the full rundown. Basically, Metal Jesus Rocks was the one that really kind of thing. I ended up coming up with a channel name called Gamingmadirocks. Now, that was when you guys were, that's when probably a lot of people are probably would follow me a lot and probably would have paid attention to me a lot more, because a lot of times my name was really relevant and things like that. But back then, I was basically, the biggest reason why I changed it was because I needed to find, this was about the time that I was transitioning and starting to kind of really take into myself. At 16, not at 16, but when, I know it was 17, when I was 18, it was starting to get up at that point, that I ended up starting to change myself. And I didn't know quite everything, okay, that a woman does, because, I'm still learning. There's still a lot of, there's a lot of women out there that don't know a lot about men, and there's a lot of men out there that don't know a lot about men. Every human being is always going to be different. So, if your next door neighbor doesn't have to like what you do, I don't have to like what you do. I don't have to, okay? But if you're going to continue to bash somebody and continue to bash somebody about this, maybe you shouldn't. Maybe you should go and say, maybe you should distance yourself and not, saying, okay, God loves every human. God loves everyone. Doesn't matter who you are. God might not like who you are or for what you're doing, but God loves you no matter what. No matter what. And if you guys don't know a lot about the things, just go look up one of those things. Go look up at the Kingdoms of Glory. Go look at Paul. Go look at 1 Corinthians. Go look at that and then come back and say, okay, how much evil will the Lord accept into a kingdom before you can go to be with in hell? Go look at the sun, the moon, and the stars. 1 Corinthians talks about it. And I know you guys are probably say, what religion am I? I'm part of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. They'd probably, and I know that there's probably a few things that you guys probably wait, what? My church doesn't really accept it, okay? But I'm still doing it anyway because I don't care. This is me. I'm not ignoring myself. I'm not ignoring it. Okay? A lot of times, a lot of people are going to be like, but a lot of times there's a lot of things in this world that, that's my religion, and I have to stand by a lot of the things that I'm learning. I learn a lot of things about stuff, and I said I'm not going to counsel you guys on anything on my religion or anything. I'm just saying that how much can the Lord love you? Go study 1 Corinthians and come back, or go study 1 Corinthians, and you will understand a lot how much the Lord understands of how much evil is allowed and how much isn't really there. Okay? Because look, I said a lot of you guys don't know about baptisms for the dead or things like that. I'm going off into a tangent, but 1 Corinthians talks about it. The Bible talks about it. Not just my religion, but the Bible talks about it. The whole premise of a lot of these things, guys, there's a lot of things that a lot of people don't, that pass things up in the Bible that they don't believe in. Guess what? It's kind of a lot of people in my church don't believe in a lot of things that have been taught here too. Everybody has a different belief. Look, I have somebody at work that I don't really like because a lot of times, fake conspiracy theories. There's a lot of conspiracy theories that go out there and along, and I can go on and on for days and days and go on conspiracy theories and things like that. But, I'm trying to keep my about me a little bit short. So basically, a lot of you guys probably already know my favorite color is pink. Not true anymore. It's still genuinely pink a lot. I'd rather, a lot of times it is pink, but I've brightened up my day a little bit. I wear a little bit of gray. I wear a little bit of some red. As you can see, I wear a little bit of red. I wear a little bit of, I wear some blue, I wear some bright, as long as it's like somewhat bright colors, pastel-y colors, you know, those are colors that I'm going to most likely wear most of the time. Not all the time am I going to wear red, or not all the time am I going to wear pink. Majority of the time I do wear pink, but I have to broaden my stuff because I can't just wear it all the time, because, you know, I have to make sure that, you know, would it be acceptable in a job, and I have to do that too. Thankfully, I can wear whatever shoes I want to work, but I have to wear an outfit for work. I have an outfit that I have to wear for work, but thankfully I can wear what I want to wear on shoes to work. You know, I don't have to be. I can wear what I still try to be a little bit more professional at work, but I still am allowed. You know, I clean, and so I'm allowed to wear that. I'm allowed to wear my platforms to work, but I don't wear them very much anymore because, you know, I have a lot of rotation in my, I have a lot of rotation in my shoes. A lot of everything that I have a lot of rotation in them. And if you guys want to know a lot about my shoes, and not all my shoes are on the shelf, as you can see. I have a Care Bears, and I have an Adidas pair that I wore to work today already. I don't put up everything there. So guys, I'm going to get off. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Now, the last thing I do want to say before I do get off is that I'm going to tell you, you gotta love, like, look, everybody has a hobby, okay? Everybody does. I even do. I love making videos. I love making sneaker content. I love editing. I'm starting to learn. Right now, I don't edit my videos on YouTube very much because I'm starting to kind of doing a lot more live content and in general, and like, and stuff. And I might get into more single player cutter content over there than multiplayer, because I don't chat very often because I'm so intensely focused. When I'm playing Call of Duty, I so tensely focus. I don't focus on chat. I tend to focus on what I'm playing at the time. And it's like, multiplayer is very hard for me to do that because games like Call of Duty, games like Rocket League, or games like Uno and things, I have a harder time trying to pay attention to chat than I do because I'm so engrossed in the game. You know, right now I'm going through Final Fantasy VIII, which you guys can check out at the end of the video, at the end here very shortly. You know, a lot of stuff that I will tell you, like, I love Magic the Gathering. I'd rather play the physical than the digital because the digital is, I haven't really got back into it. I'd rather sit down and play the physical than I would play the digital because interaction, guys. I love interacting more than playing on a digital thing. When I play Call of Duty, I'm still interacting. I'm interacting with, you know, a few people. But it's so hard to, I'm so quiet a lot of times. And a lot of that is just me being me. And I just, you know, I got to learn to be better about not being so quiet. That's just part of my autism. And I just, you know, I got to learn to deal with it. You know, it's hard for me to understand when somebody's got a facial expression going on. I can't tell a lot of times. Like tonight, like, before I went to work, you know, I can't tell a lot of it because I just was like, my mom looks really down, but it's not. She was just very tired, and a lot of times it's like, sometimes you gotta realize that sometimes people are tired, and I just gotta realize that, you know, hey, I'm getting tired, guys. It's 2 in the morning. It's about 2:15 in the morning. I gotta get to bed. But hey, if you guys want to see a little bit, know more about me, you guys can check out a video. You guys can check out the video of the Final Fantasy VIII video here, or somewhere on the screen. You guys can also check out my Sneakers channel. You guys can also check out a video that I also recommend that you guys check out. That is not necessarily, it's still gaming, but it's not necessarily in here. Now, a lot of you guys probably also, one last thing I'm going to mention is a lot of things you guys did see. I used to post my sneakers here on this channel. I don't do that anymore. I post it over on my sneakers channel. So just remember, guys, I do post everything I do get, I will do. When I start getting into building gaming PCs, or when I start getting into building my own PC, that will be me doing that for me being able to produce more content. Because I would like to get into not just PS5 content, which granted, I love my PS5. You guys can't see it. It's even, I haven't even touching my PS5. I'm touching my TV. But my PS5, I love PS5. I love this Switch. I might get into doing some Switch content here too, but I don't really want to do Switch necessarily because I don't want to get Nintendo and cease and desist orders and things like that. I don't want to get involved with that because that's a whole other thing of its kind. That's why I don't play a lot of Switch games. That's why I don't live stream it. That's why I don't do Switch stuff, because I like to keep that to myself. Okay, but I do have the Switch. I did showed you guys the Switch itself. So, but hey, guys, I'm gonna go to bed. My throat's kind of getting a little bit raspy here, but I hope you guys enjoyed. Remember, hit that like button, hit that subscribe, check out the Powered by Rainbows video on the science of transgenders. Check out the these videos here, and also go check out my stream for you guys. Go check out that. I am live. Remember, I'm always live Monday through Friday from 1 to 5 from now on. I'm starting to become live more, and that's what I want to do, is have live and then start editing videos to putting in onto my YouTube, to where you guys can say, hey, this is allowed for you guys to check out this content here on YouTube. But if you guys want cookie cutter long form, you guys can check that out. Remember, Final Fantasy VIII that's up here, I have content always going to be earlier on Twitch than it will be here on YouTube. Okay, Twitch content, when I created 2 days of Final Fantasy VIII, they will be 2 days. It will be, you know, a lot later. So if you guys still want to watch it as like an episodic video, you guys can watch it here on YouTube. And we will see you guys later. See you guys. Bye.